Welcome to the Spiritual AI podcast, where we explore the incredible power of our inner intelligence, which I call spiritual AI. Just like a computer uses AI to process data and find solutions, our awareness and intuition can guide us through life with clarity, ease, and purpose. Each week, we'll dive into the transformative tools, spiritual insights, and practical strategies to help you awaken, amplify, and align with your inner power. I'm your host, your friend, your guide, and your fellow student, Leonie du Toit. Come and join the awareness and intuition revolution. On today's podcast, I want to give you guys a real life example of how your mind can take you away from the things that you should and you want to be doing. So this morning I got up and I was thinking about things, and I think like a lot of people who would have experienced the full moon here in Australia and this part of the world over the last week or so, I went in and it was quite a ride, and a lot of things were revealed to me, and it was a beautiful gift. It wasn't nice at times, but it was an amazing gift for all this stuff to come up and for me to sit and look at and kind of process it. And this morning was one of those mornings again. I had a lot of energy over the last couple of days and I got a lot of work done. And this morning I find myself in a position again where I was like, I felt a bit flat. So I sat down and I was like, I need to get clear. I need to get so super clear on what it is that I want, because if we're not clear, if I'm not clear on where I want to be going and what I want to be doing and how I want my life to be, I am literally just dipping in and out of whatever is coming up today. I am just doing the automatic things. I'm running programs that are just running on autopilot. It just does the same thing over and over and over again, and I'm not moving forward. And I don't like that. I want to move forward. I have a big vision for my life. I have a big vision for, I have a goal to reach a lot of people with a message of awareness and intuition and helping them tap into their inner power. And so I sat with it this morning. And I started writing on, what is it that I want for my life in general? What is it that I want from my relationships? What is it that I want in my business? And I found myself really aware that when I would sit and I would think about the question, I would look up, and then my inner hacker would hack me, and it would take my mind on a tangent, and it would take me into, the flowers are pretty, and I need to do this thing. And eventually that happened a few times. I noticed it. And then in combination with the fact that my cell provider is something is wrong. I can't get onto the internet, so I can't post. I can't do what I normally do. So just I sat in the space, and it just threw me a little bit this morning. So then I found myself writing out what it is that I want for my business, and then I closed the book, and then I got up and I was like, well, I can't sit on the computer. I can't do some work now, so I'm going to go and pull weeds in the garden in the front. Like literally, I went and pulled weeds in the garden because I wanted to plant some of the little sun jewels that I have in the back, which the bees love. I want to plant it in the front garden so that there's so that all the bees can just come there as well. And plus the flowers are just beautiful. So I ended up in the front garden, and then I was doing that, and my phone is still not working. And then I'm like, I feel like I'm like in this limbo, in this space. And I had this big realization that, wow, first of all, how amazing, or not amazing, but the awareness was amazing, but how reliant we've become on technology, right? So, because I was like, usually when I'm in the garden or if I'm in the house, I've got either a podcast playing in my ears or I've got music playing when I'm in the garden cleaning the house. And just not having the ability to switch on my phone and also, have the music while I was in the garden eventually got me to a point where I was like, stop gardening, stop pulling weeds, pack up. This is just not sitting right with me either. So then, as it is really hot and humid in Perth today, I went and I jumped in the pool. And as I sat in the pool, I looked out again at the garden and the weeds and the bees and the everything else. And I was like, oh my God, I've been hacked. My brain has hacked me. My mind has hacked me. I am self-sabotaging myself in this moment. And so I will tell you now what I mean about hacked, but I was busy self-sabotaging myself. I was keeping myself busy from all the things that I was trying to do, and I was not getting to the things that I had gotten clear on earlier today. And I was like, Leonie, if you want what you wrote down in that book, you get up right now and you, first of all, go and do a podcast so you can share with the world how you've been hacked and that how other people can also start noticing if they've been hacked. All right, start becoming aware of your mind, and I will explain this in a moment. And start going for your desires. All right, start noticing, start becoming aware of the moments that you've been hacked, the moments where you self-sabotage yourself, the moments where you are not in alignment, not doing the things that is pushing you towards your desired life, your desired outcome. Now, for some of you, this might already make sense, but let me dive into what I mean about hacked. You are not your mind. And I will prove it to you, okay? Now, I know there is a couple of videos that are doing the rounds on, like little clips and reels doing the rounds on Instagram that I've seen, where they ask you to think of a word in your mind. And then you think of the word and then they go, who said that? Because you heard that. I'll give you another example. In the book, The Untethered Soul by Michael Singer, he says, say the word hello in your head. Just think of the word hello. And then he says, now say it louder. Now shout the word hello. Who's listening to that? You can hear yourself. You can hear the word hello being shouted in your mind. You are observing your mind. Okay, you are not your mind. You are part of the I am. Okay, now I don't want to go down that because I'm still getting my head around all of that, but you are not your mind. Now, in this whole concept of relating the spiritual journey with computer technology, computer science, I see my mind as a hacker. It is just, it's constantly feeding me information that's coming from my subconscious mind, but it is giving it to me and it is just looking at everything outside. So it's constantly feeding me little thoughts and things. And then every now and again, there will be there'll be old patterns and beliefs and habits that filter through. Okay, now that's when we need the awareness to see when those subconscious patterns come through, right? Like, for instance, when I was sitting in the pool this morning and I was in that moment recognizing how my mind had taken me back and it was keeping me busy, it was hacking me, it was taking me away from what I was needing to do in that moment to get to where I need to be or I would like to be. So within the thoughts, within that, there was this beautiful gift of me realizing the self-sabotage, right? Another example could be when you're walking down the street, for instance, or you're walking in the shopping mall and your mind is constantly going. It is always going, right? So you're walking down, walking in the shopping mall and there's, the thoughts go, oh, that lady's got a nice dress on. And you keep walking. It's like, that bin is full, and I'd go, and he's like, oh, I'd like a coffee now. So let me go to the coffee shop, get a cup of coffee. While you're standing in the line for the coffee, you're thinking, I need to do this, this, and this. And you look around, it's like, that's a nice color. You look around and you go, oh, that dress doesn't look nice on her. And then you go, now, if you had awareness, you would have stopped there and you would have gone, that was judgment. That thought, that dress doesn't look nice on her, is a judgment, is your judgment of her. Okay, so those are just different examples of how the mind can hack, or not how the mind can hack, but how your subconscious beliefs and patterns filter through the mind. It gets past the hacker, essentially. So this is where I'm at this morning. I've gone through a lot. I'm still sitting with no cell reception. I've got a big desire to create very specific things for my life. And I have now noticed that I have been hacked this morning, and I am going to now take my power back, and I'm going to tell my mind, I'm going to tell my inner hacker to step aside for a moment, because I am now going to do the things that I need to do to create the life that I desire. How amazing is this, that we can become aware of this? I love this. I love bringing awareness to these things. I love bringing awareness to clients and insights. When we sit in a session, when I sit in the session with one of my clients, listening to their words and picking up on their inner hacker and picking up on their inner programmings that they're running through their command centers, this lights me up. I am so good at doing that. I love it. I love helping people. I love bringing awareness to what is happening for people in the moment. Now, I hope that this podcast has brought some light to your mind, your inner hacker. Now, there's different ways. I mean, like I said, in The Untethered Soul, the author Michael Singer talks about your inner mind, or the mind being a roommate, a very loud, messy, unorganized roommate, essentially. Another way that I have described my mind is, being the inner drama queen, like just constantly thinking about things, constantly sitting and judging, constantly keeping me away from and keeping me busy with things that just doesn't matter. So perhaps you can go and find a way to name your mind so that you can relate to it. And then you can bring awareness to your mind, so that whenever your mind starts taking over and starts taking you on these little tangents and taking you away from where you would like to be, that desire, you can just call her back and just go, "Oi, Karen," because everybody knows what Karen is. Just your inner Karen, right? Karen, sit still, because we are now going to do the things that really matter. So find a name. Name your mind, because you are not your mind. Okay, so if you can relate to it, maybe it will become easier for you to relate to your mind, see what your mind is doing, and also then tell your mind to be quiet when you need to be quiet. I'm going to leave it there. Let me know if this resonated with you. Let me know which part resonated with you, so that I know how are you guys receiving this. And then do me a favor, go and subscribe, go and like, go and rate the show, and share it with your friends and family, because I have a really, really big mission, and I want to share the message of awareness and intuition with the world. I want people to wake up. I want people to tap into their own inner power. I want to create a revolution, because we need one right now. We need to tap into our inner senses, our inner strength, and together, guided by our soul and our intuition, we can create a society. We can create a life for ourselves. So let's start at home. A life for ourselves that is really beautiful, and then it will filter through into our families, and then it will filter through into the world. Okay, let's get the message out there. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. I will see you guys next time. Thank you for joining me on the Spiritual AI podcast. Don't forget to rate and share the show with your friends. It will only take a few seconds. So go ahead, go and rate the show, share it with a friend, spread the message of the power that we hold within each one of us, our awareness and our intuition. Let's create a revolution. Let's change the world. I'll see you next time.